I want to thank all the people that I have with me today, from the American Red Cross, Dr. Ramo from Project Heart Start, and others, and our personnel from the Albuquerque Fire Department. Today is an important day for your safety in the city of Albuquerque because we have launched an application that will help survival rates in the city of Albuquerque and help those who are victims of cardiac arrest. Let me give you a statistic that I think is really vital for you to understand. The American Heart Association estimates that effective bystander CPR will give you a 2 to 3 times better chance of survival if you've had a cardiac incident than if a bystander is not there while you're waiting for emergency services to show up. We know that the Albuquerque Fire Department does an exceptional job. We know that they can get there in a hurry, but the fact is, if there's a bystander that's been trained in CPR that can help you, your chances of survival are 2 to 3 times better. And that's a striking statistic. Last year in Albuquerque, the American Red Cross trained 6,100 people in what we call hands-on CPR. Dr. Ramo and Project Heart Start have already trained 28,000 people in the city of Albuquerque on hands-only CPR. I've personally taken the class myself, and I want to urge our community, get out there and get yourself trained. CPR has changed a lot. It's no longer worrying about giving breaths and trying to count breaths and count how many times that you give compressions. Now it's hands-only, it's very simple, it's easy to understand, and it saves lives. So the idea today is to talk about Pulse Point, which is an application that you can put on your iPhone. I've put it on mine, on my smartphone, and what this will do is you can go into Pulse Point. It's a free application for you to sign up for, and you can put notifications on this so that you will be notified as an individual if someone within a quarter mile of you is suffering from cardiac arrest. And how do you know this? You'll know this because a 911 call, when it goes into the Albuquerque Fire Department, will go through what we call a CAD system. CAD is computer assisted dispatch. So when that data is made available, and the city of Albuquerque is a leader in making data available like this, it goes right to Pulse Point. Pulse Point tells you somebody near you is in a critical situation. You then have an opportunity, an option, you're not required to go and provide CPR services while we're waiting for medical emergency services to show up. We know this works. There are stories around the country time and time again where citizens who've been trained, who have the willingness to go, are saving lives. And I think it's an important step forward for public safety in the city of Albuquerque. And as a mayor, I can tell you, I watch our city on a daily basis, and we have a city full of people who are willing to help. And what they need to help is they need the training, and they need the opportunity to help when it's needed. So 2 things from me as the mayor. Get yourself trained. Go on to KOAT's website, sign up for Project Heart Start. Go to the American Red Cross, redcross.org. Sign up for this training. Get yourself prepared. You can save a family member's life, or you can save one of your neighbor's lives. And Pulse Point's here to help you do that. I'm going to bring Chief Dave Downey up to talk a little bit more about the process and how this works, and then we're going to have Dr. Ramo come up and say a few words and introduce some very special individuals in our community who have already stepped up to save lives. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everybody, for being here this morning. When somebody suffers sudden cardiac arrest, there's something known as the chain of survival. And what the chain of survival is it's early 911, early CPR, early defibrillation, and then early advanced life support. So what we're trying to do with this application is get bystander CPR started right away. Now, in addition to that, with this application, it also will tell you if there is a defibrillator in the building that you are in. This app will notify you in a public building, not only that CPR is needed, but there is an AED. A little bit later this morning, we're going to demonstrate what the app is like and how it works, and it's going to tell us that there's an AED right there on the wall in the convention center. So not only could somebody start CPR, somebody else could go get the defibrillator and bring it to the person that needs the defibrillation as well. And this is all while the Albuquerque Fire Department resources are en route to start the advanced life support when they arrive. So it's a very robust application. It's all about early defibrillation and CPR. This wouldn't have been possible, quite honestly. The mayor came to me and said, let's get this done. And we started a hands-on CPR program about mid-2014. We talked to Dr. Ramo. About 2,500 people were trained at the Balloon Fiesta this year. on hands-on CPR. So this is just an extension of our hands-on CPR effort that wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for my staff, Captain O'Brien and Commander Soto staff in EMS, Captain Mallory at Tech Services, Melissa, our PIO, and everybody involved. This has really been a big project the last 3 months in the department, and we're happy this is here for the community. There is, in addition to the Pulse Point app, there is a location on our website that will allow any business owner, any public building owner that wants to register their AED, they can go to the city's website and go to the fire department page, and you can register your AED, so we will know there's an AED in your building. So please do that. Dr. Raymond?
I'm going to have Dr. Ramo come up and give us a few words. He's been a real champion in our community with Project Heart Start, a real passion of his. I've actually given him an award for the city for his leadership on this issue, and it's really important for us. As I said earlier, I personally went and took this training. It takes a very short amount of time. It is easy to understand, and the two things I got out of the training were the hands-only CPR, but I also learned how easy it is to use a defibrillator in these AEDs. So, Doc, would you give us a few words on this? Thanks.
Well, number one is that we really appreciate what the fire department's doing here. They are taking the leadership in this. This is going to save lives. Understand that if you have a cardiac arrest in a city like Albuquerque, your chances of surviving are less than 5%. If you go to Seattle and you have a cardiac arrest, it's around 50%. We are committed to training every single person in this city to do CPR and also to learn how to do the AED. Dorte Hutchison, who leads this program for the Project Heart Start New Mexico Heart Institute, is training teachers all over the state to teach their students. It's free, it's easy to learn, and everybody needs to download this app. I hope that everybody here goes to the website for iTunes, download the Pulse Point app, and we're going to get everybody in the city to do this. It's very important. It will change lives, and the defibrillator is a very important part of this. I'm very excited about it. I'm proud to be part of it, but I think we can change the miserable outcome of cardiac arrest survivors in this state in this city using this Pulse Point device. Let me introduce a couple of people, if that's all right, Mayor.
Yes, please.
I'd like you these two beautiful women here are dancers, and they were at a senior center. Can you give us about a 20-second update on what happened? You were dancing like crazy, and what happened?
Yeah, we were at the Volcana Senior Center, and
Yeah, stop a little closer to the microphone. There you
okay, and we were at a dance. 2 weeks prior to this, I had taken the CPR class with Project Heart Start, and we were at a dance, and I turned around and I saw that Mary Beth had collapsed on the floor. So I immediately reacted, and I did what I was taught in class. I did CPR compressions only. I yelled for someone to call 911, and then the AED was brought to me, and we shocked her and brought her heart back. Yeah.
What happened?
Huh?
What happened after that?
And what happened after that, but by the time the paramedics had arrived, Mary Beth was breathing on her own and was ready to go to the hospital. And she had, you want to tell them? No,
I'll tell them.
And how old are you?
He always asks me this, okay? Okay, I have 2 birthdays now. I have a rebirth date, March 21st, 2015, 2013, March 21st, I collapsed and died on the dance floor. And I was revived by herself, as she said, and they had 1 shock and I was revived. They took me to the heart hospital where I had quadruple bypass surgery. I had 4 blocked main arteries. And my other birthday was January 5th, and I'm 74 years old. And this is going to go out into the public. Right? I didn't know which. Okay, well, so I don't mind saying it. I don't mind saying it.
How many days old are you?
How many days? Well,
Since the
it'll be 2 years on March 21st. It'll be 2 years.
So what are your names, lady?
I'm Mary Beth El Gohari.
And I'm Marlene Naranjo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is Adam here? So, Adam, do you want to say a few words? So, come on up, Adam. It's Steinke, correct? I want to have Adam Steinke also give us a personal testimonial on an opportunity that he had to save someone's life with CPR. Tell us your story as well.
About a year ago, last February, I was at home. I work as a mobile mechanic, so I was putting things in my truck to get ready to go do a job. A neighbor came out, was yelling for help. At that point in time, I went inside her house, found her brother laying unconscious on the floor, not breathing, no pulse. Turned out he was a drug addict, had overdosed on heroin. I immediately started CPR. At that point in time, he actually came around. AFD actually showed up. As soon as AFD walked in the door, I don't know if it's just their presence being there or what, but he sat straight up, started breathing. So I would actually like to thank AFD for that one as well. I was actually recognized last year by American Red Cross, got the Certificate of Merit for the CPR save, and I actually received a award from Obama, which came a couple of weeks after our Real Heroes breakfast.
Great. Thank you. Appreciate it. One of the questions I was asked yesterday was, what if I help? Can I get in trouble? And that was a question. I want Chief Downey to come talk about the Good Samaritan law we have in New Mexico, because I think this is important for people to understand when they sign up for this.
Sure. Thanks, Mayor. What the Good Samaritan law is if anybody in this particular case performs CPR, you can't do it wrong or do any additional harm to somebody that's suffering from a sudden cardiac arrest. You simply need to put your hands on the chest and begin pushing as fast as you can. Try and do it 200 times a minute.
Alive.
Keep the beat staying alive. But in terms of liability for a bystander doing CPR, there is none. That's what the Good Samaritan law in New Mexico wants to encourage people to do everything they can to help people survive a sudden cardiac event. So there's no worry for a bystander if they start CPR, and you can't do it wrong is basically what they need to know.
But if you don't do anything, no death.
Certainly, yeah. If you'd probably feel guilty if you didn't know CPR and didn't do anything and the outcome was the worst outcome. You can't do it wrong, and you're protected if you try.
So a couple of things, and we're going to demonstrate this if you guys are ready in just a minute, but I just want to kind of wrap all this into one ask from the mayor to the community. Get yourself trained on this hands-only CPR. It doesn't take very much time. You can save your family member's life. You can save the life of a neighbor. It's the right thing to do, and we urge everybody to get trained. Lots of opportunities through Project Heart Start, lots of opportunities through the American Red Cross. The other thing I'd like to talk to are the business owners and others in our community. Think about getting an AED for your place of business. The price of these has come down substantially in the last couple of years, and if you are a place of business where the public comes and you can make that investment, I would venture to guess that at some point in time you're going to have an opportunity to save a life as well. So there's something for all of us to do here. The Albuquerque Fire Department will be there quickly to help you in an emergency, and with Pulse Point, with the number of people that we think will sign up for this, the community will be there as well, and businesses have a role to play. So thanks for listening to us today and taking this to heart. With that, Chief, you want to do the demonstration?
Sure. Actually, Captain O'Brien's going to...
Captain O'Brien, come on up and we'll do a demonstration here.
Sir. All right. I'm Captain O'Brien with the Albuquerque Fire Department. Got a couple Captain Kevin O'Brien. I have a couple iPhones here, and I know that it's installed on a couple Android devices around the room, but we're going to go ahead and send a dispatch. And as soon as the dispatch information is entered in by our guys, even before our units get dispatched, because we have a system in our station that wakes our firefighters up, it's the alarm, it tones the trucks, tells them to go out. My phone will get that dispatch information before the firefighters at the station actually get it. So it's very quick. As soon as it goes in. So anybody can download this. One thing that hasn't been mentioned, there's hands-only CPR through the Albuquerque Fire Department as well. If you go to the cabq.gov fire, we actually have hands-only CPR classes that are being taught to the community around right now. So we'll be continuing to grow those. So there it is. My phone was in sleep mode and it just woke up. So I will click on it. Let me swipe on the bottom here. So my phone was in sleep mode as if it were in my pocket, and it woke up, and now right here on the icon it says CPR needed. And if I click the OK, let's just look at this one. If I hit OK, it now shows a picture of the Albuquerque Convention Center, where we're at, and there's a little blue dot, and it tells me where the nearest AED is, and I'll select that, and it tells me that the nearest AED is at the Convention Center East Foyer, which is right over here behind us at the security desk. It's that quick, that easy, and I would run up, or anybody that has this app can go up and then start CPR.
While somebody's calling. Well, 911's already been called.
911
right?
has already been called.
That's right.
So this, as soon as 911, you don't even have to worry about that anymore. We're coming. We should be there in the Albuquerque area within 2 to 4 minutes.